Hey
Hey
guys,
guys.
just wanted to welcome everybody to Astronaut Lounge. I want to start off by saying I love the concept of the DefiGold project, and very interested to hear and learn how it works. With that, I'll let Jake and Nelson introduce yourselves. Maybe any other team.
Hey, Jake and Nelson are here. So I'm Nelson. I've been in crypto a long time, probably about I want to say I've been investing in crypto probably about 7 years. In crypto full time, going on 2 years now, and I'm doing development, project consulting, a lot of different things. I can do smart contracting, I can do websites, I can do pretty much a little bit of everything. I call myself a jack of all trades. Went to WSU in Washington State. Now living down here in Florida. Relocated my family. I have 5 kids. Self-employed. Been that way for a while now, and really enjoying life and loving crypto. Got into the DeFi Gold project, basically out of a love, you know what I mean, of the whole finding of gold and the whole process of everything. So, what good friend of mine and also our mining manager, we're talking almost last year. It's been almost a year now, about a way to integrate crypto and gold. And I know that there are other gold projects out there like Pax, and there's a True Gold project as well too. And there's nothing against any of them, and I hope that more power to them. And I hope that they're successful as well. But we wanted to do something like that and a little bit different. So we're going to tell you all about that today. And then go ahead, Jake, and introduce yourself.
Hey guys, I'm Jake or Jacob. I've been in the crypto space for pretty heavily for the last 2 years, full time. Been on my radar for the last 5 years, but finally, jumped in full time 2 years ago. My background's in electrical engineering. I've worked on several DARPA contracts and different stuff for defense. Pretty well knowledgeable when it comes to any type of code and just overall development. I've worked on a few research and development teams, helped a lot of projects in the last 2 years in this space, as well as created some myself. So more than excited to be working with DeFi Gold, running operations and helping establish and push the company forward. So uh, really excited. Today is going to be a huge day for us, and moving forward, we have a bunch of stuff on our roadmap that we're going to get into today. So thank you.
Awesome. Thanks for coming, guys. Damn, Nelson, 5 kids. That's crazy. I've got three, and I can't handle it.
Yeah, man, it's we're always busy, right?
Man. And yeah, I'm at home all the time too, so I got to deal with them. Well,
Ye-
so yeah, let's get into this project a little bit. So, where did the idea? Where did you guys get your idea from?
like I said, we were speaking with our mining manager. I was, because he has a claim that he's worked for a while now up in Montana, and it's mainly like what do you call that? One that you just go out there and kind of you can get just like temporary permits to go out there and do the a little bit of assaying and a little bit of like panning and stuff like that. So it's been kind of like a hobby of his doing it in that spot, and he knows the people that own that claim. It's actually owned by Gold Rush, and so he's been doing that. And so he came to me and showed me like some pictures of the gold that he's found and the panning and stuff like that, and he's been getting me all excited about it for a long time. And so we were talking for a long time about how to integrate gold into a project and doing profit share type stuff. And it's just been something that we really wanted to do because I've always wanted to do a project where it's been mainly focused on profit sharing with the investors, because I feel like crypto can be a very long term type of investing type period, and or sorry, investing asset, as long as it's managed correctly and everything with the tokenomics is done correctly and things are vested, and the way that everything is set up, it's not set up to where it's a pump and dump type of situation. So we talked a lot about it and decided that we wanted to launch this project with not just one revenue stream being from the gold, because we're going to actually start doing the mining with a placer mining situation out there in the Montana claim coming this, it'll be April when that gets set up. We're going to go out there in March and we're going to video document the whole thing going out there. From getting on the plane all the way to getting off the plane, setting up our camp, setting up our, our panning and placer situation, trying to get that stuff, assayed. So we're going to video document that whole thing out there in Montana. And that's going to be our first project claim where we're going to have a placer mine situation running on that. And so that there is going to provide a revenue stream for the project itself and be able to give back to our holders and stakers. So the main way to earn revenue from the gold itself is by staking your DefiGold tokens. And the stakers are the ones that will earn the additional bonuses on top of the APY that they earn from just staking itself. So those bonuses will come from obviously, the gold that we pull out of that stream or out of that claim itself will be liquidated and then bought back into Ethereum, and the Ethereum will be sent out to our holders. We won't make it so they have to, sell DefiGold token, because that'll just hurt the project. What we're going to do is we're going to send them Ethereum, and if they want to use Ethereum to buy more DefiGold token and stake some more to get more bonuses, then they'll be able to do that. So that was our first decision on that. And then just by doing that and kind of speaking to some other people through different channels, we came across an additional contact, which is a good friend of mine and a longtime supporter of mine. I have a little YouTube channel and stuff like that, and he's been a longtime supporter of mine. It's just really cool. But hmm, excuse me, we came across additional contact for a Bering Sea gold contact. Now, I'm not an experienced diver. I have a diver certification, but these people that go in the Bering Sea are like commercial divers. They dive in, 30 to 40 degree water, these special tanks and special situations, and then they vacuum out the bottom of the seafloor, which is the runoff from the glaciers every year. So it's a season that's about 100 days long. I don't know if you've seen the TV show Bering Sea Gold, but they vacuum out the seafloor. They throw it onto the dirt and sand goes up into a vacuum hose that goes up onto a dredge that is on top of the boat that they have there. And then that boat is, sifting through all of that dirt and soot to separate the gold from, the soil that's in there. And so they pull a pretty heavy amount that's all from the glacial runoff every year. And each one of those spots that's out there in that bay in the Bering Sea is basically a claim. And Alaska owns them. They're a 10-year claim, and people can, lease them out and things like that. There's like subleasing. But this team that we were in contact with, they have a claim up there. They already have a lease on it, and they're a full commercial diving team. One of the members of the team is Hurricane Dave from the Bering Sea Gold TV show, actually. And we were in the process, speaking to them about, getting basically funding their next expedition or partially funding for a share of their gold findings. And then that way we would have additional revenue on top of that as well. So not just from our own claim, but also investing in other teams that can do things that we can't. So uh, the Bering Sea is, we really wanted to be a part of that. And so we were coming to an agreement yesterday, actually. We came to a pretty decent one. So now we're going to work on getting contracts and everything in place. We'll work on setting up some AMAs and things like that with Dave, and getting some additional marketing on that side going. I'm pretty sure it's a Netflix TV series that he's on there. I can't remember if it's Netflix or Amazon, but anyways, it's a TV show. If you guys haven't heard of it, you can look it up on YouTube there, Hurricane Dave with Bering Sea Gold. So it's really exciting that we have that on there. So we're going to have those revenue streams. And then also as we grow and, pull in additional revenue and have, the company growing and growing and growing, we're going to continue to, establish different mines in different locations as well too, and hiring assay teams. Our mining manager has actually been in contact with Jeff Williams. He's actually another, I'd say, I don't know if you call him a YouTuber or an influencer, but he's a miner or prospector that has a pretty popular YouTube channel, and he'll actually go and assay claims for you, and he'll document the whole thing. So he did say that we could run across him with certain areas that they're going to be we're going to be looking at and he'll let us know, give us some insight on stuff like that. So we can't name him as an actual advisor to our project because of the whole crypto aspect, because how people are with crypto, but we are excited to have him as a contact. So it's going to help us in the future. And so on top of the gold aspect, we wanted to give additional revenue streams that would also feed into the expansion of our gold mining and funding of different teams and things like that as well. So we established our yield farming, and so we're yield farming with multiple different entities. But the first one that we're going to be starting with that's more established is called the Golden Way. They're based out of Dubai, and they've been around for a long time. Some of my family members, my wife's father's cousin, I always get that. It's like multiple family steps, but they're Hispanic family, so everybody's connected. My wife's father's cousin, they've been investing in that for a long time with non-crypto side. So they do crypto and non-crypto through euros, and so you can invest in that project and pull a guaranteed APY based on however much you lock it in for and all that stuff. So that's one of the companies we're going to be investing into that'll pull constant revenue stream on that. And then there are some additionals that we're looking into as well too. Some of them are higher risk than others, but we have a team of there's 25 individuals that are on our team, our seed investors and our advisors, and all of them get voting rights in our project. So they get to tell us which and where and how much of things that we can invest into as a team. So that way we can generate the best revenue and have a connected risk establishment. So the yield farming is going to have on the Golden Way, we have a minimum 14% monthly APY that we'll be able to pull out of that, which is a good revenue stream on there. That information is on our white paper as well. Then on top of that, we're also going to have our NFT raffles. NFT raffles, we're building out that DApp right now. That one's not going to be ready at launch. Of course, our staking is going to be ready right after launch, but the NFT raffles are, say you buy a raffle ticket and um, they're a lot cheaper than every other NFT that's out there. Say if you wanted to own like a mutant ape or something, you'd buy a $50 raffle ticket, and then by the end of the month, we'll do multiple raffles for that NFT to give away to one of the people who bought that raffle ticket. And any additional revenue that's left over from that just goes back to supporting the project. And then the winner, of course, gets that mutant ape NFT. And we wanted to do that because, of course, it supports the NFT community without having to throw additional NFTs into the pool on that side and continue to dilute the NFT market itself as well. So that way we're supporting more instead of diluting. And also, of course, strengthening our project as well without having any effect on our chart. So people won't have to sell anything to if they would decide they win that NFT, if they sell it, it's not going to hurt our chart whatsoever. Anyways. And then, of course, we have some transaction fees. The transaction taxes at the beginning are going to be, as it says on our white paper, 5% in, 5% out. Those are eventually going to go away as soon as possible, actually. And the reason for those at the beginning, obviously, is to establish the project, establish the mining operation and everything like that, get everything ready to go, and giving back to our holders and everything. And then, it says on our white paper where that goes. Let me pull that up here. So the 2% of that goes to liquidity pool, 1% goes to marketing, 2% goes to mining and yield expansion. And then once we have those things up and running and going, the revenue streams are coming in, we have the marketing starting to go in, liquidity pool is established and everything like that. Then we're going to be ending the tax period, taking away the taxes basically. Reason for that is so that we're not deemed a security in the future. And yeah, there's a lot of good things. Investor revenue streams are obviously, token investment profits. You invest into a, fair launch type of situation, you end up getting pretty good return on your investment most of the time. Like I said, we did not do any type of pre-sale or private sale. We did a seed sale, and the seed investors are receiving vested liquidity tokens, so LP. And then, of course, we have our staking APY starting at 10% for the standard DefiGold staking, and then all the way up to 55% APY for the 1-year lock on the LP pool. So we have two different types of staking, which is DefiGold and LP staking as well. So that'll continue to support the floor on the liquidity pool side. And then, of course, the monthly NFT raffles. If you win one of those, you sell it, you could get a pretty good bag of money. So, and then the staking rewards. The staking rewards are what I had mentioned before, and those are the rewards that are coming from our revenue streams that we'll be paying back to our stakeholders. So, and those are, like I said, in Ethereum. So with all these different revenue streams, we'll be able to provide additional passive income to our holders and provide a strong floor for our project. So it's gonna be exciting. That's why we're calling it DefiGold, because it's not just focused on gold. We're also focused on supporting the NFT and crypto community as a whole.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
that's
That
us in a
sounds
nutshell.
awesome. That sounds awesome. I think you kind of touched on a lot of my questions here. Let me find one you
Yeah,
didn't.
I try to be pretty thorough. I've been breathing this for, nonstop, full time, about 12 hours a day for the last 2 months straight. So
So, actually, I do have one question. Jake mentioned yesterday that this is like a V3.
it's a what?
This has been launched before?
No. I was discussing something else in that other
Oh,
space.
okay.
I was
All
just,
right. Sorry, man. I was confused.
no.
No, there's no other
Okay.
versions of our project.
Good. Good. That's great to
Great to
hear.
hear.
Yeah, I think I was touching on because the other project's platform. I was just saying like, hey, if someone had multiple versions of a project, would they be able to morph it all into that platform that you guys were showing yesterday?
Okay, man. I get you now. All right. Yeah. Well, that relieves a little worry I had. So we're great there. So, you mentioned the NFT raffle. So initially, where does the money just comes from the purchase of the raffle tickets to buy the NFT?
A combination of that and the marketing funding.
Okay. And is that going to be sustainable after the taxes? There won't be any more marketing funding. So will that be
Correct. Yeah.
sustainable
So
after
it'll
the
be
taxes?
sustainable because of the additional revenue streams. We'll continue to support the project, and we have allocations percentages of all of our revenue streams are going to each one of the things that we need to spend the money on, obviously. So once the taxes will be pulled out, then we'll still have additional allocations from the revenue stream of the yield farming, the gold mining, and also of course, the NFT raffles, all of that going to support the liquidity pool marketing and mining expansion.
Okay. Nice. Um, the physical mining site in Montana. I know you said right now it's just like a panning site. Has the has have you ran any tests to see if it's even viable to set up your first actual site there, or have you looked into any others?
So our
Yo, Nelson, I can take that.
sorry, my phone just rang out of nowhere and just scared the crap out of me.
David said he can hop on that.
Yeah. Hey guys. I'm David. I'm the mining consultant and manager. We
You're
have
welcome, man.
the people that we're acquiring the claim from has been assayed multiple times over the last 3 years, and the assay results are coming back at about a half ounce per ton. That's for the hard rock mining. The placer operation part of the mine is coming out at about an ounce. I think they said an ounce per, a little over an ounce every 2 tons. So basically about the same, the half of the load mine. So
Okay,
Right.
and
yeah, our team personally hasn't been on site. I went up there a couple of times and helped them redo the satellite cameras and did some real mediocre sampling, but it wasn't anything thorough. It was just running my pan in the creek for a little bit.
okay, cool. So based off of the assayer's estimate, what would the projected revenue for that particular site be?
So as I said, the load mine is what we're most interested in. The placer is just going to be, what residually comes out from glacial melt every year. The load mine is what we're really interested in. It has again been assayed at a half ounce of gold per ton. So I mean, if we're it's really just as hard as we're willing to work until the gold vein is used up. But a half ounce per ton, I mean, you're making, you can fit 3 ton in a single excavator load bucket, and then that's a $2,000 bucket running through the mill. So I mean, we don't, it just depends on how we're still working out the details on how big of an operation and how big. I mean, you can buy $100,000 worth of equipment, or you can buy $10,000 worth of equipment. So the ROI is basically just going to be how hard we decide to attack that claim.
Okay. Good answer.
Yeah, and Nelson mentioned earlier a little bit that we're going to start our first boots on the ground April, March. I guess I should say March, April, and that's when we'll start doing our kind of docu-series, kick off some of the filming, and just let people really see for themselves what we're doing and how it's being operated. So that's going to be definitely a big thing for us, and that that's kicking off pretty soon here in about 3 or 4 months.
Nice. So you guys are going to run your own docu-series. You did mention Dave up in the Bering Sea being on the Netflix series. Is there going to be any possible promotion of DefiGold in the series?
I won't say that there is or there isn't going to be, because you know how crypto and mainstream media are. We could have it on there, and then of course the network decides to cut everything that is related to crypto from this filming. However, I did send an email to our contact with their team just recently, actually, because we want to set up an AMA with Hurricane Dave from the Bering Sea Gold TV show as well, so that we can basically validate our connection with them and their team and everything. Of course, because everybody's going to say, oh, how do we know that's real? Things like that. I did pull up here a YouTube video. If you guys don't know who Hurricane Dave is, he's considered to be one of the craziest ones on their TV show. And this is on Discovery, by the way, not Netflix. So I don't know if I'm allowed to play that or not in your guys' AMA. Is that okay? No. Are you there, man?
Yeah, 15-second clip.
Yeah, it's just like he's basically the most experienced one on this team here. So but yeah, we are going to be setting up an AMA with him, and get some information from him directly, and be able to get some firsthand experience of how crazy he can actually be. But he is one of the most experienced ones and has a lot of uh, intel and good experience that we can definitely be excited about, I should say, for the team. Here we go.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely helps to have someone experienced on this.
So
Well,
that boat that they're getting on is actually not the one that they're going to be on there. That's a much smaller version of the one that they're actually running off of with this commercial dive team that we're in contact with.
Nice. And that is the one where you're going to need the equipment, or they already have the equipment, correct? So you're going to be leasing this equipment through them?
So it's all equipment that they already own, and it's just their equipment is all stored in Ohio right now. So part of the our package that we're doing is getting that equipment over to the Bering Sea, and also funding the day-to-day operations for the actual boat and team and that of itself. And then we're coming to full terms as far as what we want to do. If we're going to fund the whole thing and you get 100% of the gold, or if we're going to do half and half, we definitely want to be each equally have skin in the game. So there's reason for them to get up and stay and work late, as well as for us to be out there on the boat as well. They probably will send somebody from the team, either if we hire another, or I'm a young single bachelor, so I'd be happy to go spend a couple of the weeks on the boat. But I'm sure
I think we should actually send David up there because he's the one with more experience with all of the gold and the dredging, the equipment type stuff.
Never hurts for everybody to have hands-on experience.
Yeah.
Yeah,
speaking
if
of
I could
100
pipe in
days,
here real quick, I'm going to be driving here again, so I just wanted to see, is there any other mining related questions that you guys had real quick before
No, not really. Not right this second.
All right, cheers. I'll be here listening in, but like I said, I'm going to start driving, so.
All right, man. Thanks
Thanks for
hopping
popping
in.
in. Appreciate you.
So you guys are launching on on ETH. Have you thought about going on BNB also cross chain?
We would do have plans for a bridge in the future. Yes. We wanted to launch on Ethereum at the very beginning because I'd say there's a heavier percentage of projects that are more well established on the Ethereum network than there are on the BNB. BNB right now, from what I can tell, is a lot of scammers, and we just did not want to get thrown into the pool of the possibility of us being one of them. You know what I mean? But that's also why we ran through and did our audit beforehand. We did our KYC. We're checking all the boxes to show validity in our project and everything.
And who did you guys do your audit and KYC through for people to
Solidity,
check in?
Solidity Finance has been a longtime friend, and I'd say I consult with them quite often for multiple things regarding smart contracts and things. So Dan, their founder, or co-founder over there, is my contact with them, and they actually recently acquired KYC Capital. So our KYC and our audit were both done through Solidity Finance.
Nice, perfect. Solidity's good. The yield farming, the yield mining with Golden Way. How do they actually guarantee profits? You're locking the money up for how long?
So you can choose how long you want to lock it up. So they have different accrual periods depending on how you want to pull out your money and everything. If you do, say, a 1 year lock, then you can also actually choose how often you want to get paid from that too, and that actually changes the amount of yield and APY that pulls out. Say if you choose the 14% is based on a 1 year lock with 30-day accrual periods, so 1 month accrual. So every month we'd be able to pull a 14% minimum profit margin on that side. And the way that they guarantee that is Golden Way is very well established in the gold and also precious metals and gems industries. They buy and sell gold all over the world. They'll and then reinvest it. They also have connections to miners pulling their own gold. They sell gold bars. They brand them themselves, send them out. And basically, what we're doing is, if you invest in these, basically you're getting what they call gold certificates, and so it's a digital representation of ownership, basically an NFT of a gold bar. And so, or gold bars in plural. And so that's how you're able to do it, is because they basically take your money and use it to make additional profits, and they have a guaranteed APY based on that. Obviously they get a cut. They've already been doing this since 2007, so it's been around for a long time.
Okay, nice. And where is the how much initial capital do you have to put into that pool? Um, do you have
Into that
is
one,
yes, is it do you have it pre-launch, or is it going to come after launch from taxes?
it'll come after launch, but our initial investment on that side is going to be about $100,000.
Okay, perfect. And how much of that is raised already? Do you have some
So
from the
far,
seed
we've
round?
already raised a little over 12,000 on that side from the seed investment round, and then I have personally put in about $20,000 into the project.
Okay, perfect. So it shouldn't take long to
No, not at all.
get to the initial 100K mark for locking it up. And
Correct.
oh, I do have another mining question, by the way, but David doesn't have to be here for this. Have you guys considered branching out into crypto mining?
We have so the original kind of plan for the name of our project. So the name of our project came from, actually, I purchased the domain and the website from another team, and their original plan for the name of this was going to be Bitcoin miners and Ethereum validators, which is why they had called it the DefiGold. And I acquired it because I helped them to design the website. So that's part of what I do professionally, is designing websites. And so, when they had said that they were no longer going to be doing it because of some issue that fell through with a company called Minerset, and they do basically miner hosting, and they're powered by Niagara Falls or something like that. It's all green energy, 99% green energy that powers these Bitcoin miners that they host. And there was some contract issue that fell through with them, but so there was something that kind of, we've been thinking about that, but at the same time, that's just that would be a future talk, I'll say. That is definitely not in the cards, I'll say that, but it's a future talk. It definitely is determined by, you know, how everything goes with our project. Obviously, if we hit pay dirt our first year and have a large yield that comes from our, mining operations, then, we will definitely look into funding something like that, that will be profitable. But one miner, it just is not, as profitable as some people may seem, but if we have a whole slew of miners running, through someone that can host it with some green energy without affecting, you know, things in the environment and things like that, because we want to try to be, with dredging and things like that, a lot of people can be against it because of, the, uh, what is it, the ecological impact.
Right.
But that's another thing is, Bitcoin miners are pretty bad for the environment and as far as all the energy they put out. And so that's one thing we would really want to be able to do, is be able to afford to have it hosted with someone that can provide the green energy on that side.
Okay, perfect. As far as the business goes, are you guys registered?
We
As
are a
a
registered business. I have a registered LLC myself down here in Florida, for my marketing company, and then we also have a registered LLC for DefiGold in Nevada currently, and we're in the process of finalizing our incorporation through the Caribbean as well, on that side, so that we can go international with some of our ventures.
and with this being profit sharing, how are the investors going about with the taxes on this? Are you going to be reporting the distributions, or how's that work?
The
That
distributions will have to be reported once we go on to the centralized exchanges. At that point, then we'll be able to start doing that. But at the beginning, of course, we're going to try to stay as DeFi as possible, so that we can give more to our investors without them having to, you know, throw out that additional tax revenue.
yeah, sure. So yeah, I know you were talking about dropping the taxes to zero so you don't get labeled as a security, but I wasn't sure how the legality of that would be in the U.S. Where's your company registered again? Did you say?
Currently in Nevada.
Okay. Yeah. So I don't know how that would work with the profit sharing as far as not getting labeled a security through a token. Um,
Yeah. Basically, I think we're from what our financial advisor had said, it's AJ, he's not in here. He's like totally anti-Telegram, but he's a financial advisor with Chase Bank. But what he had said, what we were going to need to do is basically list out the profit sharing individuals who are willing to share their personal identification information as shareholders, basically. But that's something that we will need to look into the future once we go into off of the DeFi side, once we get a little bit more centralized.
Okay. And is there any plan for like a fiat on ramp for people that this is a investing in gold, so different
Mhm.
investor bases are going to be looking into this that you know haven't been in DeFi or even in crypto at all, and to make it easily accessible, will there be a like a fiat on ramp um, through your website or DApp or however you choose to do that? If so,
So I looked into a couple different options on that side. So I also am a marketing officer for, as it shows on my profile picture there, for Clearwater Enterprises. They do bottled water and also some DeFi stuff as well. And they have a function on their app, on their website, called ClearSwap. And ClearSwap is basically it's a contract that swaps, Ethereum to BNB and BNB to Ethereum. It's a bridge. But they're also on-ramping the fiat as well onto their DApp. And so that was an option that we were looking into. And then I've also looked into the information for getting us onto the MoonPay um, information there, or getting onto the MoonPay D app, or website, or whatever you want to call it, getting us listed so that you can use your debit card or credit card to purchase our token as well too on theirs. The only issue with MoonPay is go ahead.
Yeah, Nelson, I was just going to chime in too about, some people may know me, or well, obviously it's in my casino games. Yeah, I own an international online casino as well. So I have several payment connections for different payment solutions. We have full fiat on our casino, over 60 different currencies with like 120 countries. So I know that's when I say 60 different currencies, different countries use the same, but Indonesia, Singapore, being that we're going to go international, a lot of these companies like pay cryptos, and I can name a whole list, but a lot of them work as a monthly payment. So like until it's makes sense for us to pay $3,000 to $5,000 a month to have these fiat companies or people be able to use their different fiat currencies, not viable right now, but definitely something down the line for sure.
okay,
Exactly what I was
nice.
getting to, yes. Same thing with MoonPay, is like I said, they do have that monthly installment there.
All right. Hey, actually, that brings up another thing. I noticed in the team list on the website, like there's a lot of CEOs and CMOs for other projects. Are those all active or previous? Um, and like, will everybody be able to dedicate enough time to this project? Is what I'm
Yes, so that's why our team is as large as it is. So Jake and I we have other things that we do as well too, but we both have the ability to work on this almost full time. And then the rest of our team, because we have such a large amount of people that are on our team, they are able to help us to continually run everything, run our socials, run our Telegram, update the websites. I have a developer as well too that's on our staff for my company 3BM that we've used quite a lot, and so he basically monitors all the smart contracts and helps with the D apps, and runs those things there for say the staking, and our NFT raffle that's coming out here soon as well, and everything there. So we definitely have enough people on staff to keep everything going on a full-time basis. So I don't think we're gonna have any issues with time or you know anything like that.
Okay, perfect. I had to ask. I didn't
Yeah, of
know
course.
if all of those were active employment other places or if they were previous experience.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah.
all of our advisors are contractually, agreed upon for certain things that they're doing there, to help out the project, and then all of our team members have we have a separate system that we use that Jake has implemented as our chief of operations, and he basically assigns tasks, and those tasks get done. It's very well organized, in my opinion. It's fully run, cloud-based business currently.
Nice. Nice. Okay. So
Just to add to that too, a lot, everyone on our team, I think here, there is a lot, but everyone's kind of doing what they enjoy to do. So I genuinely feel that it's almost not really work to some of us; it's almost a hobby. And being that everyone kind of has their specialty and passion already, being creator, or being a developer, or CEOs or CMOs and leaders in different projects, I think that brings strength to a team as well. So far it's been exciting to work, have a basis and a good foundation like that, amongst, from other ventures and stuff, getting a small group together and then trying to expand versus, you have that strong foundation already, and it's just a matter of distributing and executing.
And obviously, I'm sure most of the advisors and team were part of the seed round, so they do have a little skin in the game, right?
That is correct.
Absolutely, everyone's fully vested for all the seeds is vested for 4 weeks, and everyone on the team is vested with no release of any funds for 4 weeks, and then on a weekly basis they'll receive 10% of their or 12%, I'm sorry, of their initial allocation.
Yeah, and then many of our teams that are getting those allocations are actually planning on the staking period as well too. So and that is something that we are not advising to, because obviously we cannot advise them what to do with their own payment, but we would just want to make sure that everything is fully covered and everybody's safe on that side. So the seed investors are also, they're not getting any actual like the DefiGold tokens. They're getting the LP token. So they have vested LP is what they have. And like I said, I know for a fact that most of them are also planning on doing the long-term LP staking option also with the high APY on that.
Yeah, and the other beauty about getting those distributing those LP tokens. Let me mute this guy real quick. Distributing those LP tokens is, like we said earlier, we do have those taxes instilled for the first, first couple months at least, and through those taxes we have a 2% automatically going to liquidity, which that will mint new LP tokens as well as adding ETH into the actual pool. So that's a way to also build the floor and also generate the new LP tokens so that we can, keep the solid foundation for the company.
And with that LP coming in, is it going to be locked for what's the initial time period on the lock?
The lock on our LP is a 30-day lock. And then right after that, we're going to do an extension absolutely after that. The only reason we did it a 30-day lock at the beginning is to verify that everything is running smoothly. We have an agreement with all of our seeders that if anything happens, then of course we would give all of the seed investors a full refund if needed, or we will run a vote on that side. But basically, of course, we would have to notify everyone involved, including Solidity Finance through the KYC. We'd have to notify the community and everything like that. And then, of course, our plan is to do a long-term lock right after that.
Okay. All right, perfect.
Yeah, with all the moving parts that we have going on at launch, we have our staking contract going live, a few other things going, just to ensure. I've run into the problem in the past where I've launched and you lock it up for 3 months and you find a small bug and something that you need to fix, and you're stuck, you're trapped unless I've in the past had to pull 30K out of my ass from somewhere and just to do the relaunch to protect the project. So it's kind of just a safe thing to do as well. And as those new tokens are minted, when we do our final lock, everything will be blocked for extended period, like Nelson said.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and open it up. See if anybody else has any questions. I think I've asked about all of mine. Anybody wants to ask any questions? Just pop up there.
Yo, Poppa.
Hey, what's going
Guess
on,
who?
buddy? Hey.
Yeah, not bad. I had one question. It might be a bit long-winded, but it's just based on something that you said. So I think the interesting thing at the moment with projects and the way things are going is seeing projects that are trying to merge the emerging tech of blockchain and DeFi into real-world utilities. But that's sort of coming hand in hand alongside the two biggest concerns at the moment, which is the regulation and the issues around central exchanges. But more specifically associated to what you're doing is with regards to, as you mentioned, whether or not something should actually be a registered security. You mentioned obviously you're going to be a registered company and that you're going to do away with the tax as soon as possible so that you would consider that you're not a security. But how is it being managed that
4,000 so I can fix it. I don't have a choice.
hello?
Yeah, we can
Who's
still
that?
hear you. I think you're breaking up.
Oh, right, sorry, yeah. How is it going to be managed with regards to, you're offering staking attached to a real world fueled utility yield, and when you go onto a CEX, then asking people to volunteer to register as a shareholder, that sort of sets questions in my head of that's putting you right in the firing line of, we weren't a business, we launched, we've done our thing. Now we're going to try and register it. And is that not going to bring the whole chain from start to where you get to into question as to whether or not that should have been a registered security?
That's exactly why we're currently in the process of getting our incorporation done offshore. The Nevada one was done basically kind of preemptively prior to speaking to our legal advisor and our financial advisor. And so we're currently already providing all of the documentation necessary, and we're in process of finalizing our LLC within the Caribbean. On that side, we won't have any issues with that because of the fact that we're a cloud-based business. We're doing our licensing for the mining operation as a foreign entity through our company. So the incorporation going through the offshore, not having to deal with any of the American side, we will have higher taxes from the revenue that will be pulled out of the ground eventually, um, because of the fact of being a foreign entity doing so. But it's safer for the investors and it's safer for our company as a whole to be able to do it that way. So basically, as long as we stay as a registered offshore company, not within a registered entity within the United States, then we're not going to have any issues with that side of it.
Right, but you're currently registered in the US in Nevada, yeah?
Correct, and we've already ceased that with Nevada. I've already been speaking with the Nevada business administration on that side. And so what they have already said is that they have already basically closed our LLC because we had opened as an LLC on that side. So that's why we had switched on our website over to DefiGold Inc. on that because we are incorporated offshore. And so because of the process has already begun, we've already provided necessary documentation. I've already paid for already paid for all of the processing fees on that side. Through a company called BBW, they do establishing of offshore companies. We're allowed to do our launch at this point.
Okay. And the other part of the question, again, it relates to what you were saying about the taxation. Obviously, you want to try and get rid of that again to help with how it appears to everyone. Obviously, low tax tokens tend to attract more investors. It's just a given thing because they're not paying towards other things. But
Correct.
what sort of protective measures have you got in place? Say, for example, you get rid of that tax, there's a dropout in the gold price, or you're not churning over as much as you expected for a short period of time, anything like that. What measures have you got in place outside of the actual real world utility that you're doing to ensure the yield for those people that have locked up for another 10 months can stay intact and they will still receive that?
That's through our yield farming. So our yield farming is going to provide continuous profit, whether it's, even if we don't hit that $100,000 threshold of putting in that additional, first injection into that pool, then we can still put in, whatever we have, and it will still pull out additional revenue, which we can still provide, profit share on that side as well too. And we have that in place on some of our contracts that has, an anticipated amount of, return, and then, estimations on that side. It's all based on the production, because we can't anticipate how much gold we're going to pull out of the ground. We can't anticipate where the market's going to go, things like that. I mean, we're pegged to Ethereum, so we can't say for, certain that Ethereum's not going to, have itself in the next 90 days, which I honestly don't think that'll ever happen from where it's at currently. But, you never know, right? It's just the way of the world. So that's why we have those additional revenue streams, because of the fact that we can continually grow our project from the yield farming, from our NFT raffles, and from everything else. That's why we wanted the multiple revenue streams.
Okay, cool. It's good that you got the answer. Obviously, you've thought a lot of this out. One last thing, you mentioned the yield farming, and that's built into your contract to support, unknown timeframes. So people sometimes have different ideas on what yield farming is, where it's going, who it's through. So your yield farming setup, what is it? Are you referring to simply tokens that are allocated within your contract that will be dispersed to people to cover it? Or are you talking about you're going to yield farm the LP for the whole token on a farm elsewhere to generate income externally?
Correct. The second option there.
Okay, so you'd be farming your own LP outsourced elsewhere.
Correct.
Yep, that's through the Golden Way.
Yeah, like I said, our first one is going to go through the Golden Way. They're like I said, the safer option, but because we have a large team and also advisors and a large group in there, we do run votes in there for basically every decision. So we have a poll that we put in there on what decision we want to do, and when we're going to do it. And then they have a given amount of time to give us the answer, and then we go with the answer that has the highest amount of votes. And so we have additional investment options through some additional yield farming ventures, I should say, that are a little bit more high risk. So we're looking at possibly putting a little bit of injections into those, but they do have a high APY. So it really depends on nearly what the team votes on that side.
Okay, cool. Yeah, thanks for asking. I'll hand you back to Poppa or whoever else is there waiting.
Thank you.
Thanks for the questions, Cole. Anybody else have a question? A lot of info. I'm sure there's got to be something.
I get silenced a lot. I think it's
I think
because
you
I'm
covered
pretty
it
thorough.
all. Yeah, I think you covered it all. So yeah, that was great. My last question is, when launch?
Ooh.
Telegram. Yeah, so the launch, I'm going to pause the chat prior to launch, and that I'll post the official link. I'm thinking it's not confirmed yet, but I think the smartest thing from now, instead of just posting the contract address so everyone feels they had a fair opportunity, we're going to, once liquidity has been added, we'll give you guys the contract address and kind of open up the VC. And, obviously trading won't be live yet, but you'll have somewhat of a chance to get your wallet set up, because I know, some people feel discouraged when, we just drop the address. So we will do that, and chat will be paused. And yeah, so stick around. The window, 4-hour window or 3-hour window, around 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. EST. But there will be notifications in the main chat, absolutely.
And that happens today?
Yes,
So
sir.
in short, today.
Oh wow.
We
All
are a
right.
few hours out.
One question: with putting the contract address up ahead of time, are you not worried about bots?
We do have bot protection actually in our contract already. So we are not super worried about that. And we will put out some warnings in our Telegram in regards to that. So if any of you guys are planning to use bots, I definitely advise against that. You will not be happy with the outcome.
Thanks for the liquidity.
Yeah, right. And it's not going to be like it's not going to be an hour before or whatever. It's probably I'm going to drop it once I pause the chat. It's kind of your cue to pay attention, and then launch will probably be about 15 minutes after that. So.
All right, man, that's awesome. Well, it was great to have you guys on here. Definitely had all the answers I was looking for, so that's perfect. I didn't even have to ask half of my questions. So I love that. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording unless anybody else has a question.
What's up, Jake and Nelson? I have one question for you guys. What is, well, maybe more than one, but what is the max wallet? What's the percentage that you could get a buy in?
We will post that stuff in our Telegram as well too. We're trying to keep that information as need to know as possible up until right before launch, because we do know some people do try to sneak through Etherscan or BSC scan and try to find contracts that have those functions and maximums and transaction limits and things like that. So we will post all that information in our Telegram. So if you join in there, just pay attention.
Perfect. And then how about you said that the ETH will be given, right? In what form will you guys be dropping that ETH? Once is it only for the staking, or is it going to be part of the contract for the DeFi Gold?
The Ethereum rewards, are you speaking of?
That's correct.
Yep, the Ethereum rewards are going to be manually distributed to our holders because we have to do it that way because of the fact that the Ethereum is coming from the yield farming. So we have to use, well, that and also the additional revenue streams. So we can't actually put in like, hey, we're going to sell gold into the contract and, distribute it that way. So it is going through a manual distribution and it is only going to be given out to our staked holders. So, and the staked holders, as stated in our white paper, you'll have to stake your DefiGold or LP tokens for 6 months or longer to be able to receive those rewards. So it is only to the long-term stakers.
Nice. And then one last question. Do you guys plan on selling gold bars or gold plates or any of that sort?
That has been talked about, but the only issue is, of course, being DeFi decentralized. A lot of people don't like to give out their personal information. For example, we did recently run a little promo giveaway where we gave away some silver bars, and one of the winners was not able to receive them based on her location. You're not allowed to ship precious metals into that country. So there's issues like that. It's something that we're definitely looking at. Some future giveaways are planned out with giving away some additional precious metals like that. But again, it really depends on what that person wants. I mean, if they choose to not get a bar and instead they want Ethereum or something, then we can always look into that too.
Well, the reason why I asked is because it probably is a good idea, at least in the States, with how, and everybody that knows stock markets and everything, the best thing right now to do is to buy gold because of inflation and all that stuff. And as you continue to buy gold and silver, you kind of fight all of that stuff off, if anybody understands that, right? But it'd be something great to look at as a real world utility as you guys are doing everything of gold mining and all of that craziness that is going with the gold thing right now. So I think that would be a good route to go through, just my opinion. But thank you.
Absolutely. No, I completely agree with you. We actually had a Zoom call a couple weeks ago with a YouTuber, and I don't know if you want to call him an influencer, but he's a financial advisor for precious metal investing. They call their group the Arcadia Economics. You can find them on YouTube. They have like almost 70,000 subscribers there. So we're looking at doing a collaboration with them too in regards to the investment of gold and silver, and having some fun with that stuff as well, and doing some giveaways on those. And and then also some options of branding our own bars and selling those too, if that's something that we wanted to, or if that's something our team voted upon as well. Like I said, every decision that we make that's bigger like that has to go to a vote.
And then you actually said that you have a marketing company, or you work for a marketing company, Nelson.
I own a marketing company, yes.
So everything, all the marketing is going to be done through you or through your company?
Not everything, but yes. Yeah, I have a lot of good connections that'll help us to alleviate a lot of cost and markup on many things, like billboards, publications, things like that. We have a PR blitz kind of planned out that is going to happen shortly after launch, and some other fun marketing things like that. And we've already started, reaching out to additional avenues, and I've paid for a couple of fun things to get started here to, throw out some more brand awareness.
Oh, everything sounds great, man. I appreciate your time. Thank you, Jake and Nelson. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Great questions. Thanks for coming up.
I have I just brought up another question. With that marketing company, is that a crypto marketing company?
Crypto and cloud-based companies,
Crypto and
yes.
cloud based. So, do you have like any previous projects that you've worked with that have had a successful marketing campaign?
I did marketing for actually last year. I did a lot of stuff for Tiger King Coin. I helped out with some of the stuff for Zelda Inu as well too. I did some that was pretty minimal, and then I did some things for I have currently still existing an additional project. It's more of like a meme style, but it's called Mystery. That was a big launch early year, but of course, with the market fall, a lot of the meme style coins kind of took a fall, but it's still live and tradable. And then let's see, there's been a few other ones as well too. Clearwater, I help with their marketing still. I'm still part of their team. And then yeah, there's been other,
Okay,
cloud-based companies that I've worked with and things like that, but they're not as well known.
all right. And like I said earlier, with this type of investment, you're going to have a different investor pool, obviously, looking into it. And how are you planning on reaching out to them? Like
That's kind of
through magazine articles? What kind of
yeah.
marketing would you do for that?
Publications are a part of it, and then also, our a lot of the reason why we did that whole Zoom call and kind of collaboration with Arcadia Economics is that they have a whole other type of following. You know what I mean? That they have precious metal investors that follow them. They don't have crypto investors whatsoever. So that is the collaboration that we're, really, really excited about, and we're going to start working with them video wise within the next week, actually. Um, to start with, we're going to do some videos that we'll be able to embed on our website and throw on our socials that'll be unlisted on their side. They wanted to kind of gauge the type of I don't know, engagement they would receive from their current community first. Because of the fact that we're crypto tied, they wanted to make sure that their current community is not going to freak out and obviously spread FUD and everything like that, because they are, more traditional based. So with them doing some videos on that side, like I said, I had asked our contact that has the contact with Hurricane Dave to see if we can get some AMA type stuff set up on that side as well too, so we can hit up some of those discovery followers and get some good impact on that. We have the publications, like I said. We have web ads that are going to be going out. Multiple different things like that. We are going to be doing a vote here within the next 24 hours in our team chat on where to throw our first billboard campaign at. And we may end up just doing, a blanketed billboard campaign as well too, with different, different cities involved as well. And those are digital billboards as well.
Okay, perfect. Um, All right. Well, that's all the questions I have then. I promise I'm done.
No problem.
All right. Anybody else have any questions before I stop the recording?